Hello, welcome back to my channel. And happy Valentine's Day weekend. I know by the time you guys are seeing this, it'll be kind of far past Valentine's Day, but I thought I would take you guys along with me this weekend as me and Hayden do Valentine's weekend. We're not super like big Valentine's people, so I figured this would be kind of a fun way to spice it up a little bit, show you guys what we do, and also just read some romances with you guys as well. Today is going to be super busy around the house, but tomorrow I have a ton of time to get some reading done. I have a lot of romances picked out, so I'm excited to share those with you. So first up on the list is to eat lunch. I already ate breakfast, but I'm like kind of getting a little peckish. We woke up late today, so I ate like kind of a late breakfast, but now I'm wanting some lunch. I baked some bread this morning, so I think I'm gonna have bread with some leftover gnocchi and chicken that Hayden made us. Phenomenal. I'm gonna leave recipes for both the bread and the gnocchi. It was so good. So I'm gonna have some of that for lunch. Then I'm going to do my hair because honestly the straight hair has caused me like more irritation in the past 5 minutes than anything else. Like I need to curl my hair. I hate having straight hair. I blew it dry last night, which I literally never do, just so I wouldn't be so cold. It's literally 20 degrees outside, which doesn't happen in Texas. I blew it dry and now I need to curl it because it's irritating me. So lunch, do my hair, film some video intros. I need to get some video intros done for videos going up in March. I am pretty far ahead on my schedule, which I'm like super proud of. I like that because last week, for instance, was a bad mental health week for me, and I didn't feel pressured to like read or try to vlog because I already had stuff pre-filmed, which is so nice. So yeah, I want to get those video intros filmed so that way like I'm still ahead of schedule. And then I think me and Hayden need to film the Dumb Bitch Book Club episode for From Blood and Ash. It's going up tomorrow, so I need to film, edit, and upload that today, which is going to be a lot of work. I'm a little bit nervous about it, not gonna lie. Like I don't really want to get all of that done today, but I need to get that done for tomorrow because I don't know, I just feel like that's a fun Valentine's treat. So that needs to go up, and then I want to get some reading done while Hayden makes us dinner. I'm so excited. He's making us a homemade chicken pot pie, which like way to my heart is literally anything that's got heavy cream and or bread involved. So I'm very excited for that. I'll hopefully get some b-roll footage of that for you guys, but I'm hoping that I can get the Dumb Bitch Book Club episode like filmed and edited and shit like very early, and then I have a lot of time to read. So what we're reading this weekend, I'm not quite sure. I think I'll update you guys later on exactly what I'm gonna read, but I have this video, it's another list video that's coming up, and I've read most of the books on this list. That's why I like picked this one specifically, but there are a few books that I haven't read yet, and I have like 4 or 5 of the audiobooks ready to go, so I get to pick between some of those and we could read some of those this weekend. I might ask you guys on Instagram like what books you guys want me to read for this vlog, but I'm kind of excited about that. I didn't really want to pressure myself into reading super hardcore this weekend just because I know I want to spend some time with Hayden and I have a lot of like video stuff to get done, so that's kind of why I picked audiobooks. But I'm not like super excited about any of the titles that I've chosen. There's like one that I'm excited about, the rest not so much, but I mean that's kind of par for the course with any like list video. Honestly, I have read most of the books that I wanted to read off of that list on my own, and now I have to read the books that I probably wouldn't have picked up on my own. So I don't know, maybe we'll find a gem. I guess we'll see. So tomorrow's mostly going to be the reading day. Today is mostly going to be the get shit done day. So I don't know how much I'm going to vlog today, but I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to come along with us as well. Hopefully there's going to be some like fun Hayden footage because, you know, he's the one that brings the flavor to videos. So fingers crossed that happens, but I'll update you guys probably a little later on in the day. Hopefully I'll have the Dumb Bitch Book Club episode already filmed. I'm so crazy about you. I'm so crazy about you. Babe, we can count all the stars in the sky as they pass by your face. On your face. Take a trip up to Mars, hold you tight in my arms all the way. First time out of space. Well, baby, I would give you the galaxies. Fall for your love when there's no gravity. Hop on this rocket ship, I got a blast. Girl, you're so confident. We don't need fast, need forever. Forever, you and me. Happy Valentine's Day. If I look a little different, or if like the background looks a little different, it's because I got a new lens yesterday in the mail and I'm so excited about it. I bought this specifically for vlogging and I feel like it's just more conducive to that. My other lens is a 24mm lens from Canon and I love it. I feel like it has that nice like background blur, which is cool. When I'm vlogging, I want you guys to be able to like see what's behind me. So this is a 10 to 18mm lens. I'm loving it. I'll link both of those lenses down in the description if you're interested, but I'm just very excited and I'm excited to use it today. So I'm a little bit bit too excited. That makes sense. That's as to why. I didn't get to update you guys literally at all yesterday because I got so much shit done, but I was so tired once like 9:30 rolled around that I didn't want to get on camera. And you know what? That's okay, because this vlog is super casual and chatty. But today I have so much time to read and have fun with you guys, and also maybe like make a little Valentine's treat for Hayden. That's kind of the game plan. I don't have anything like super strict planned besides just getting some shit read. I'd like to finish 3 books today, which is a little ambitious, but I think I can do it. I'm thinking I'm gonna like paint my nails, do some stuff around the house as I listen to these audiobooks. So I did get 30 minutes into Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, so I figure we could maybe talk about that, and then I can talk about other books as we read, and I'm just gonna update you guys throughout the day. Obviously, what to say about this book? I don't know that I have like super strong thoughts and opinions. It's kind of giving me like low-key Nicholas Sparks vibes, just because this is like a slightly more sentimental romance than Christina Lauren writes or like is currently writing. I don't know, I feel like they used to focus a little bit more on the characterization and development in their relationships whenever they were writing a few years ago, and now it's a little bit more rom-com-y and like surface level. So I am kind of enjoying it, but it is also a little bit cheesy. So our heroine, her mom died at a really young age, and we're split between past and present timeline. In the past, her, mother died when she was kind of young, maybe like 10, and her dad is trying to do everything he can to be like a really good father for her. So he buys this house, like this vacation home, and it's next door to a big family, and she gets kind of pulled into that big family, and she befriends this boy who she becomes really close with. And then in the present day, she is engaged to someone, she's a doctor, and we find out that she kind of lost contact with her childhood best friend, that guy that we were just talking about. He comes back into her life very early on in the book, and I'm sure what's going to happen is she's going to end up with her childhood best friend instead of this guy that she is currently with. Normally, I kind of have issues with that sort of setup, but I feel like I'm actually kind of enjoying it in this particular instance, just because we know what is going to happen at the very beginning. I think it's like a little cheap when at the beginning of the story you have your heroine with a different guy, and half of the book is her kind of deciding whether she wants to stay with that guy, and then from the 50% mark on, she starts falling for another guy. I mean, I guess that's probably like a more appropriate way to do it, but at least this one, it's like straightforward, and it's letting you know like, hey, don't get too attached to the guy that she's already with. So I'm like not hating that. And already I'm feeling a lot of like emotions. Like I'm feeling the emotions of the characters. I'm not saying that like I particularly am becoming emotional reading this, if that makes any fucking sense. I'm appreciating what Christina Lauren's doing in this book, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't know if this was going to be a book that I was going to enjoy. I feel like it tends to be roped into books like, oh god, what is it, Twice in a Blue Moon? Some of the less popular Christina Lauren books. I don't know, I don't hear anyone talking about this. And actually when I went on Goodreads to look at reviews for my friends, not a single friend has a review for this book. A couple of my friends have read it, but no one has reviewed it. So I have no idea really what to expect or if this book's good. So I don't know, I guess it's fun to read it for that particular reason, just because like I have no idea what to expect, but that's sort of where I'm at. I think I'll probably update you guys at like 50% once I'm a little bit farther into the story. I'm hoping that I continue to enjoy it the way that I have been. Like right now, I would say I'd probably give this book like maybe a solid 3-star. Like it's definitely solid. It's not like the best thing I've ever read, but it's not terrible. So I'm gonna pull out my phone and see what else we can read today though, because I do have some other things checked out for my library. Ooh, okay, that's exciting. I just got a hold. I literally love getting on my Libby app and seeing what has like just come off of hold. That's like the best feeling ever. I don't know about you guys, but opening up my library app and seeing a book, like I can check it out now. It's not for this particular video though, so. I also have How to Walk Away from Catherine Center, which is kind of more of like a chick lit type read, I'm sure, because Things You Save in a Fire. I read that one for last year's Goodreads Choice Awards romance or whatever video, and it wasn't really a romance, but I didn't hate it. So I don't know, I may or may not read that today. I also have I Owe You One by Sophie Kinsella, which is a book that I had no idea existed, but is apparently fairly popular on Goodreads. I started it, it's interesting. I like the British humor, might keep going with that one. I also have The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory, which I might read today. I'm not really wanting to read that if I'm being honest. I don't know. I have just not heard good things about her books, but I would like to at least put that to the test before I make a decision or not. Thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, like 3 or 4 of her books are on the list for this video that I'm reading, so I'll definitely have a good gauge on whether or not I like her books after this video. Oh, and then I also have Don't You Forget About Me by Very, I think that's how you say it, Very McFarlane. I did like her debut. In retrospect, it wasned perfect, but I did like it. At least I think it's her debut. If We Never Met or something like that, I read that one a while ago. And I might read this one today too, because I'm in a, I don't know, British mood today, I guess, or like a British humor sort of mood. I'm liking the Sophie Kinsella book because of the British humor, so I'm thinking maybe maybe I'll read this one too for that reason. The weather's just shitty and ugly, and maybe I just kind of feel like I'm in England today. I don't know. That was a lot of talking to say that I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading Love in Other Words. I'll update you guys once I'm further in, and then hopefully I'll get through it quickly and we can start on something else soon. Okay, so I'm downstairs in my kitchen, and I thought we could make Hayden's treat while talking about Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I am actually really enjoying this book. I'm like 60% in, and I was sort of I don't know, on the fence about how I was going to actually enjoy this book because our heroine is like a little bit on the generic side, and at first our hero was too, but honestly the more the story goes on, the more I'm like understanding our heroine and all of the stuff that she's going through. I also really like our hero. I gotta say, he's probably the saving grace, and like 99% of the time I feel like if the heroes kick ass, I can overlook issues with the heroine. And our hero is no exception. He is like the bookish man of my dreams, if I'm being completely honest. I kind of fell head over heels for him in the past scenes, and then also in the present I'm sort of enjoying him. And now I'm just like very curious as to why they would be separated for as long as they were without any communication. Feels a little weird that they would be separated for so long given the amount of history they have and in how well that they were like able to communicate as children essentially. So like I don't know exactly when they separated. We still haven't gotten to the point in the past timeline where they have like separated and are no longer together. But I'm just wondering, like, given how well they communicate in terms of sharing emotions, sharing feelings, talking about uncomfortable things, like why they would have broken up in the first place. And that is exactly what Jess said, that is like the kind of iffy thing about the story, is the fact that they separate for kind of a weird reason. And I'm a little bit like worried about that, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But overall, I feel like I'm very all over the place because I'm trying to like multitask and it's not working out so well. Overall, that was my oven. Overall, I feel like it's a good time, and I'm just curious to see where things go, and I'm curious to see if that like thing that's gonna happen is going to be something that like really fucks with my enjoyment of the story. Like, let's just be real. I didn't really tell you guys what I'm making, but essentially I'm making these blondie bars for Hayden. I'm trying to be quiet. Like, he's upstairs with his door closed, but you know, not exactly talking quietly. He requested I make these with his favorite peanut butter cups, and I have heard his request and I decided that I was going to make them. It was like sort of an offhand comment he made recently that I just figured it would be a nice thing to do to make these for him. These are literally the easiest things to make. Like, so easy. You need like 3 or 4 ingredients, and I've like skipped some of the ingredients for these before. I think it calls for vanilla extract. I used vanilla extract once, then I used maple syrup because I didn't have vanilla extract, and then I've made it without any replacement for the extract, and it tastes delicious. I mean, it's got an entire stick of butter and like an entire cup of sugar in here, so it's really not that surprising that it's really good. But you just mix everything together, and then the actual like mix-ins are whatever you want. So Oreos, M&Ms, basically anything. And I love that. I love that like there's so many options with this, and Hayden specifically said like he wanted me to do this with peanut butter cups, so that is what I am doing for him for Valentine's Day, because I just thought it would be sweet. I will say, if you're gonna make this at home, just know that the recipe really doesn't make that much. I would say probably double it if you want enough for like 2 people to have leftovers. I don't know how many servings I would say this is, maybe like 3 or 4, which like 3 or 4 servings of a dessert is not enough for me. So I would definitely say to double the recipe, but it's amazing and I love it. I think what I'm gonna do is finish stirring this and chop up some of the ingredients. I'll probably time lapse that, and then I'll update you guys once I am finished with this book. Okay, so I finished them and they're beautiful. But first, let me update you guys on Love in Other Words before Hayden comes down here and like sees his treat. I don't know how to feel. I have no idea how to rate this book. There was an element that did occur that just kind of warned me about, like, I mean, she didn't tell me exactly what was gonna happen, but she did warn me that the reason for the breakup in the past timeline was a little bit a sketch, and she was correct. I don't want to spoil this book for people, but I also know that people are sensitive to certain things, so I'm gonna leave in the description what exactly about this book didn't work for me, and you guys can kind of determine from there if this is a book you want to read or not. I personally am very forgiving and understanding when it comes to romance, and like I'm able to overlook certain things, but I know other people are not. This was a very real and raw look at 2 people who are dysfunctional and who have baggage, who make mistakes, coming together and making something work. So it didn't bother me, but I know that it's definitely going to bother a lot of people, and I can understand why Jess didn't like this book, but I personally still really enjoyed it. So I don't know if it's going to be like a 3 or a 4-star read for me, but this is definitely something that I'm going to discuss more in depth in that list video that I'm doing. I'm very excited about it. I think, let me just lay it down for you guys. I have 3 list videos coming, 2 list videos and 1 like list adjacent video coming in 2021. I think that's probably all I can manage, to be honest. And this one kind of just came to me randomly, and I realized that I'd read most of the books on the list. I decided I was going to do it, and I'm just excited to share this one with you. I thought I was going to do it like in December, or film, edit, upload the video in December, but with the way that I am checking out these books from the library, I think I might be able to do it much sooner, which is super exciting. So anyway, that's that. I think next what I'm going to try to read is The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory, and like we can see if that works or not, and then if not, I am going to read Don't You Forget About Me by Very McFarlane. I might read both of them and like update you guys at 50% because it is like 6:30, and I think realistically I'm probably not going to be able to read both tonight, which kind of sucks, but I think I can get 50% probably with both and then update you guys on that. So I'm going to have Hayden come down here and like see what I made for him, and then he's gonna make us some fried ravioli, which I'm so excited about. I had like raised the idea to him a little while ago and he seemed receptive, so he's gonna try it, and I'm very excited. I'm sure it's gonna turn out great, so I'll be back. Look what I made you.
Oh yeah,
just like you asked for.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I put
oh, they look so good.
I put
and they're
the
pink.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make it romantic.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the peanut butter cups in it, and I also put like actual peanut butter because there were only 2 peanut butter cups.
It's tasty. I'm gonna make these ravioli.
Smell the peanut butter. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be able to eat these, but I am excited for you.
I'm gonna eat this whole plate later. Just hate my life.
Yeah, I tried to make just enough for you because I know you're not like that into sweets.
Yeah, how'd you do that? What'd you use?
The recipe itself. What do you mean?
Like what pan did you use?
The little bread one.
Oh, nice.
Very smart, very inventive, very creative.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Love you.
Me too.
Hey Pepper, you want to be in it? Oh, he smells like peanut butter. So it's like 9:30 and I'm not gonna lie, I am so tired. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like this weather or the pandemic. I'm just not sure if I'm like not used to doing as much as I used to, but I am so tired and I feel like I really didn't do that much today, but I digress. I did get some reading done, and I did realize too that I did get other stuff done today that I haven't really told you guys about, so I guess I'll briefly mention that because you guys had asked some questions of me and Hayden a few weeks ago. Like I asked you guys on Instagram to ask us questions, and we did actually like sit down and film a little Q&A, but I never posted that vlog because it crashed and burned, to be honest. Like my camera ended up dying during that weekend and I was just really sad about it and like not in a good mood, so I scrapped that whole vlog. But a lot of your questions that you asked were about our wedding, and I wanted to kind of like answer that question here, or like kind of talk to you guys a little bit about my wedding because I know some of you are curious. But essentially, we're getting married next year in 2022. Hopefully the pandemic will be far behind us. I guess we'll see what happens. I am planning the wedding as of right now. I have been doing the most that I can while not having to actually like go in person for things. I've done a lot of stuff like over Zoom and over the phone, and we've gotten a lot planned. We know where the wedding is going to be. We know what the food's going to be. The only things that I don't really have in place yet are my dress and my flowers, but I am getting those things done actually as we speak, and that's what I was doing this weekend. I was booking my wedding dress like try-ons, I guess, like because I have never tried on wedding dresses and I'm so excited. Like it's becoming much more real. I mean, I do have a venue and that kind of like helped make it real for me, but getting to actually like try on dresses and pick out my flowers, like that is going to be just my favorite thing because flowers are so important to me, and I'm so excited. So I'm getting some quotes back from people, and I'm also like having to send people a bunch of like pictures, and like this is kind of what I'm thinking, which is awesome and like super fun, but it also does like require a little bit of research on my part and like whatever. So that's kind of what I was doing today. I was setting up my wedding dress try-ons and then also doing the floral stuff. The cool thing about the florals is that I don't have to go in person for any of it, and the wedding dress stuff is actually really nice because pretty much everybody in Austin now is doing by appointment only, and you can only bring like 1 or 2 other people with you. So I feel like pretty comfortable going try on dresses now. I mean, if I could put it off any longer I would, but unfortunately there's, you know, a certain amount of time that you have to order a dress in advance, you know, for your wedding. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, and that's kind of what I've been doing today. I don't know, I'll probably update you guys in another vlog too once I like have my dress and like maybe show you guys some of the dresses that I don't pick, and or show you what I'm thinking like vision wise. I don't think I've really shared what I want my wedding to look like. This piece of hair is driving me nuts. Anyway, so that's where we're at on wedding stuff. A lot of you guys asked like if Hayden's involved or if he's excited, and he has been pretty involved. I do have someone helping me plan besides Hayden, which has been really nice, but anytime I have a question or I'm like unsure about something, he's always there to like contribute his opinion. I mean, he doesn't really care about like the fine details of the wedding, to be honest, but anytime I'm like, hey, which do you like better, he's always there with very thoughtful opinion, which has been really nice, and he's excited to get married, which, you know, that's all I can really ask for. Anyway, Let's go ahead and talk about these books so that I can go to sleep. I feel like such an old lady going to sleep, but it's supposed to get down to like 7 degrees tonight, which literally never happens in Texas, so I'd like to be asleep before that happens. Honestly, I just want to be cozy in my bed tonight and wake up hopefully to like a beautiful blanket of snow. I'm really rambling at this point. Okay, I keep like not wanting to talk about these books, to be honest, because like I don't have super strong thoughts. But first up, I got like 50% into The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory, and honestly, I don't want to say I'm enjoying this more than I thought that I would, because I'm not enjoying it, but I don't hate it either. It's not terrible. It's just not a very memorable read. It feels very textbook, like this is what a romance should be. It's checking all of the boxes. It is, you know, an interesting premise. We have cool, diverse characters. I do like the diversity in this, but there's just not a whole lot there. There's not like a really unique voice or really interesting characters. Like I like on the surface our characters, but they don't go any deeper. Like there's not really a whole lot of interest in their personalities. They don't have like funny dialogue together. And the sexual encounter that they had at about the 50% mark, I just like didn't really care about, just because while the romance is, you know, trekking along, and while I do like the way that our hero kind of saved our heroine from her situation, it's just not enough to keep me invested in the story. So let me kind of briefly tell you what the story is about. It is about our heroine, Nick, who goes to a baseball game with her boyfriend, like, I don't know, basically just hookup buddy, but her boyfriend of like 5 months or so, who she's not like super invested in this relationship with. She goes to a baseball game with him, he proposes to her and like spells her name wrong on the Jumbotron and stuff, and she's like, I have never even said I love you. Like, no, I'm not marrying you. And it's obviously a really embarrassing encounter, and she gets saved by this guy and his sister, and they're like, oh my god, we haven't seen you in ages, even though she's like never met this guy. He's just like trying to get her out of the situation. Carlos and his sister end up giving Nick a ride home, and they kind of stay in touch because there's this chemistry between Nick and Carlos, and that's sort of the story. He is, I believe, a pediatrician, and Nick is kind of hesitant to get into a relationship with him because she has been with a doctor before, a surgeon, and he was kind of an asshole to her. So, you know, she's like, oh, I don't know if I can trust doctors. I think she's like a journalist or something. Like I said, it's like the story's not terrible. I'm not hating it. There's nothing egregious about it, but there's just nothing that's really pulling me in. I'm not loving the characters. I'm not loving their dynamic, and I want to. I really do, because I feel like the premise of this book is interesting enough, but it's just not giving me a whole lot to work with. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. At the moment, I feel like this is kind of like a 3-star, 2.5-star read for me, but I'm hoping it kind of turns itself around, because I'm not in for a super good time if I don't like this book, because I also have to read The Wedding Date, and I think The Royal Wedding for this video too, and The Wedding Party. Oh my god, I have to read pretty much all of Jasmine Guillory's books for this fucking list video, so I'm hoping that this isn't like her best book, you know what I mean? Because that would be really disappointing. But anyway, it's fine. It's just like not everything I wanted it to be. And then I ended up getting like 5 chapters in. I don't know what the percentage is, because like Hoopla is not very good at giving percentages. 5 chapters in to Don't You Forget About Me by Very McFarlane, and this book is very different than The Proposal in so many different ways. First of all, I mean, it's got that like patented British humor and sarcasm and cynicism, which I'm loving. And on top of that, our heroine is just so, not over the top, but her inner dialogue is so, I don't want to say flavorful, but it's full of zest and full of personality, which I'm really liking, because, you know, reading something like The Proposal that doesn't have really any of that, and reading this by contrast has been really, really nice. That being said, I don't know if I can really relate to her or understand her struggle so much. I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit too type A for characters like this, and I'm not even a type A person, but she got fired from her job at an Italian restaurant, like a really shitty, like worse than Olive Garden type Italian restaurant, and then her loser boyfriend cheats on her. And you know, everybody struggles, everybody goes through hard times, but like, I just can't really relate to being in that sort of situation, and like, sometimes it can be hard to sympathize with characters that are so different than you and get themselves into these situations. Like, no one deserves to be cheated on, don't get me wrong. But also, it's like, this guy seemed like a grade A tool. Why were you dating him in the first place? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I like her dialogue. I don't know that I'm going to love whatever situation she gets herself into. She's giving me kind of like Bridget Jones vibes. You know, Bridget Jones is kind of an idiot as well, but like, you can't help but root for her. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that I like her. Her name's Georgina. I don't know if I said that. At least I think it's Georgina? Georgina, something like that. And this, I think, is not a childhood friends to lovers, but she ends up getting with a guy that she dated briefly in high school. So I'm curious to see what happens. And apparently he's like super successful, and I'm assuming the story is going to be her kind of finding out what she wants out of life by dating this guy. So fingers crossed that that's what happens. I don't know. So far, not bad. I think if I were to rate this one, I feel like it's a little premature, but I would say maybe like 3.5 stars. So this has been an interesting reading weekend, honestly. Like, I've read 3 romances, or I'm in the process of reading 2 romances, and I read one, and it's been interesting. I don't think I told you guys, but right before I started this vlog, I finished All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and that was a time. That was a choice. It actually wasn't a choice. I read it for this fucking video that I'm doing, this goddamn list video. And that was an interesting read. That was one that I was so on the fence about too, kind of like Love in Other Words. It was like everything was well told, but there's just like a couple of things that are like not it for me. Like, perhaps let's not include that particular thing in romance. Again, I'll leave it in the description what I'm talking about, but didn't love that. So it's been an interesting time reading things. I'm just thankful at this point that I'm gonna do this list video because I have a bunch of romances that I can just cycle through when I don't want to read high fantasy books that I'm reading for other videos. So it is what it is. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but it is high time for me to take off my makeup, which I feel like you can't even tell that I'm wearing because I look very, very sad and haggard. But I'm gonna take my makeup off, I'm gonna brush my teeth, and I'm going to probably watch some TV or some Netflix with Hayden because, you know, it's Valentine's Day. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I talk about it a little bit more in the vlog that I filmed before this, which I may or may not post, but I am just trying something new on my channel. I want to do some more like chatty content because I really enjoy people's chatty, like aesthetic reading vlogs. Zoe from Zoe Delaney or Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte. Like, I just love that kind of content. To me, that's like the most comforting, even though that's not what I personally make. So I want to just like try my hand at doing something new and maybe not being so good at it at first or ever. Fuck, I don't know, but like I wanted to try something new is basically what I'm trying to say. So if you watched this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. Love you guys so much. And I hope you guys had a really fantastic Valentine's Day, but I will see you next Sunday.